Hey Emma, I am super excited to have you on the How She Owns It show. Having read the things that you've shared with me, I'm really excited for us to have this conversation and for everybody to hear the things that you have shared. So rather than me introduce you and get it completely wrong and perhaps not cover everything that I should, would you mind just telling us who you are, a little bit about yourself, what you're all about, the incredible work that you do?
Okay, yes. Well, lovely to be here. I live in Devon and I call myself a psychotherapy professional because that's like an umbrella term. So, therapist, supervisor of other therapists, writer, editor. Um, I've had three books published so far, and I'm about to have another one published early next year. So, and I'm interested in people's inner worlds. So
Yeah.
your wonderful phrase about self-lead-hership and what it means to be successful and all of that is kind of what draw me to answer your response, to have a conversation.
I love that. And I think we're very similar then in that we're very interested in the inner world because from
Uh-huh.
my side, I know from my own personal experience, but also working with other people, that when we figure out the internal stuff and we work on all of that and we strengthen it and we elevate that, that's when the external world moves to match us and the results then that we want and the things that we want, everything sort of supercharges. So that's
Yeah.
that's really cool. I guess then I am really interested. I've got like some things that I was going to ask you about because we're talking about inner worlds straight away.
Mhm.
Interested to hear more about the internal family systems model, which is
Yes.
something that you are very passionate about.
Yes. Well, I didn't know anything about the internal world until I had a breakthrough experience in my early 30s. Then I had some group therapy and it was like, oh, curiosity. What is this? And I'm allowed to be curious about me, and other people have been allowed to be curious about me. And it was like, oh, it was mind blowing in a way. So I got into therapy after that, and then I trained as a therapist, and that was like 20 plus years back. And then more recently, around 2014, I read a book about IFS, as we call it, internal family systems, and I just lit up. And my sister was like, yes, we need to know more about that. We need to have some ourselves. We need to train. Well, I didn't think I needed to train it because I don't like to go run before I can walk. So, but it's very, very transformative. It's a transformative type of therapy where there are all sorts of ways you can be curious inside. And it talks about how parts have different roles in the system, different relationships in the system, and also in addition to all these parts that help us do life and maybe have problems with each other or with other people, there's also this aspect of humanity that's beyond parts and has a more courageous, creative, spiritual, um, ageless, all that sort of thing. And that is the healing agent, as we call it inside. And it's when parts are in relationship to that inner self or in relation to other people's self, to other people's parts, that's where the magic starts to happen.
It's very interesting. Like I often find myself having conversations with myself in my own.
Ah,
So I think reading everything that you'd shared and now you're talking about it, I am curious about that. So that kind of like piqued
yes.
my interest. So what would you say self-leadership then means to you in terms of just life, the inner world, the external world?
Yes, well, in IFS, we talk about self-leadership in that this self energy is a huge resource for our internal system and our parts, the parts that are functional, the ones that aren't so functional, the ones that are deeply wounded. Self can be there in a loving, caring, holding kind of way, and also for other people. And that's what self leadership is about. It's about parts knowing that's there and not feeling so alone or so frightened, and able to be who they want to be on the inside. And that has an impact about who we want to be on the outside as well. And then you talk about self-lead hership with this capital HER, and of course I'm a her, and a lot of my wounding has come through relationships, say with men or being a girl in the culture I grew up in, or so that journey is also part of my journey. How is it to be a woman
Yeah.
who, say, can't have children or has had trauma like I had, developmental trauma and single incident trauma, as you might call it. So, what is it like to be a woman in today's world? A
Yeah.
daughter, a mother, or not
Every
mother, all those sorts of things. So, I don't
yeah.
know if that answers the question a bit.
Oh, it does. Like, I think for me, it's very interesting. When I kind of decided I was going to do this video series, I think everything is different to every individual and things mean different things for different people, don't they?
Mm,
So it's good, I think, to get different perspectives and get different takes on what that means for you,
mm,
for me, because I think as women, we're very, very good at beating ourselves up, aren't we?
yeah.
And so I think just the acknowledgement that we're just humans and that we're all on this path and that we've all had struggles, probably all at this point had some sort of trauma. People's traumas look differently, are very
Mhm.
different for different people. But I think it's what I was hoping was that I guess people that are watching it can either relate, they maybe don't feel so alone, they
Yeah,
maybe feel
yeah,
seen and heard in the
yeah.
stories that are being shared. And I'm sure that there'll be lots of women that are feeling seen and heard in your story. So, is there a story then or a lesson, Emma, that you could share that has shaped how you would say you lead yourself or how you just lead in life in general?
Oh, there's probably a few. I think two things I'll say. One is that somehow um, my system has maybe since I've had some therapy, been able to use negative type experiences often as learning points, as opportunities or turning points. And that's been a real blessing. Um, and there's lots of different examples of that I could give. And I give some of them in my next book that's coming out. The other thing is that one of the reasons I like IFS is that it's constraint releasing. And I think you touched on this in the beginning. We might make ourselves small, or we criticize ourselves, or we maybe have tendencies to work too hard to feel better about ourselves, or perfectionist tendencies, or whatever. Um, and those are things that get in the way of us relaxing more, or being more free, or being more loving or kind to ourselves or to other people. And so it's IFS is one of the ways, and other therapies are, all sorts of ways you can do it, help get rid of those, not get rid of, because you can't get rid of parts, and we don't want to do that. We love our parts, but we help them let go of what's constraining them. So it's not about adding things, it's about helping them let go of burdens, let go of beliefs that don't serve, so that there's more of us able to come through.
I
Um,
love that so much. And I think it's crazy, isn't it, that we do. I think as women, we're go, 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 go. We've got all these plates that we're spinning, and people feel it's really selfish, don't they, to do something for them, or that's the
mm,
perception.
mm.
But for me, like self-care is a huge part of what I teach and what I try and implement for myself. I love a bubble bath, like that's my thing. But it's weird that when you actually do that kind of thing for yourself, you free up so much space. Like I feel like I free up a lot of space in my own brain and different things come through. So I wonder if it's similar in a sense of what you're sharing there, in that when you do the things that you've just shared, you're freeing up more space then for the more positive and the more supportive, the more compassionate, the more um kind parts of ourselves to maybe come in, and we dial the volume down then on the self-critical, self-negative, self-bashing
Yeah,
elements.
so it's finding ways to get out of our own way in some ways. And yeah, as you say, be kind to yourself. And also, one of the big things on my journey is that I began to take myself seriously. Therapy is about taking yourself seriously and taking your part seriously in whatever way it's possible. And when I say I'm going to do X, if I don't, that goes on inside. Whereas now I'm much more about saying, no, I said we were going to go for a walk. We want to go for a walk. So yeah, let's do that thing. Or like you say, you want a bubble bath, you make sure you have one. And that helps the system feel, I am listening, I am responding, let's do that walk. Or somebody wants to finish that chapter. Okay, let's try and do a bit more. We might not get it all done, but let's do a bit more now. And it's managing all these different desires inside, or different urges, or different demands. It's very complicated living. And I think, as you say, I think women, somehow it's more complicated, maybe because we've got so many different responsibilities,
Yeah.
um, or as part of conditioning, societal conditioning. We don't just drop it all when we go to work. We've still got all this
Going on.
going on. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think like my self-worth is a huge piece of my jigsaw puzzle. And that was a limiting belief, was I'm not good enough, not worthy enough. That
Oh.
kind of really came through for me. But I read a book, so I'm a recovering people pleaser, and
Ah.
yes. And what I didn't realize when I got into this, and I was looking at boundaries, and I always thought other people are overstepping their boundaries with me. I'm constantly letting them do
Mm.
that. They're asking me to do this, and this. I'm always doing, I'm always doing, I'm always doing. I got a real slap around the face and a wake up call when I read this book or listened to it because I listen in the car. I'm an absolute boundary trasher,
Of
that,
your own boundaries.
but other people's as well,
And other people's, yes.
coming from a place of wanting to help,
Uh-huh. Yeah, 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 yeah.
just diving in
Yeah.
without even asking them, like,
Uh-huh.
what do you need
Uh-huh.
to do? How can I help? And I was like, oh my God. But then also, as part of that as well, I realized my own boundaries, breaking promises to myself, which is
Yeah.
something you touched on.
Yeah.
Because I think that's really easy for us to do. Like, we're going to go for a walk and then we don't go for a walk, or I'm going to do this and then you don't do that. It's so complex, isn't it? And
It
so
really
like,
is.
things you don't even realize that are contributing to your experience and perhaps how you're showing up. And a lot of it is like it's in here.
Mm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, how would you say then, during all of those plate spinning moments, and because we don't put them down and life gets messy and there's a lot of uncertainty, I think, anyway, in the world at the moment, but I
Yes.
think we
Yeah.
always have times of that in ourselves. How would you say you stay rooted in you and who you are during those times?
Mm. I think connecting with other people is a big way I can somehow stay connected to myself. And that's part of the job. I work one-to-one a lot
Okay.
with people in these different roles. And somehow that helps me stay connected to this core curiosity.
Yeah.
And it helps, which helps my parts, which helps all of me somehow. And it's the following through and the routines and trying to manage the fear, the panic, or those sorts of things, trying to, I mean, like you said, self-talk. It's not the end of the world. Or
Yeah.
yeah.
I love
And
that.
listening, not trying to make parts of me go away, listening to them. And even just in the listening to them, it can help things relax a little. You know, that
Yeah.
if you've got a little dog that's petrified and tremoring, you're not going to say, oh, stop being frightened, go away. You're going to want to stroke it and say, what's going on? What's going on? Did that cat slap you? What happened? You know, so yeah, it's about welcoming who we are in whatever way we can. But obviously, I'm human. I get very angsty and angry with some people I live with. Um, yeah, hubby gets it in the neck a few times. But yeah.
I love that. And I think it helps to hear other people acknowledge that there are different parts of us and that, like, they show up in different ways at
Mm,
times and they need different parts of us to show up during the times that they're showing up almost. So,
yes.
yeah, I am fascinated with this whole IFS
Well,
model.
can I make a plug?
Absolutely.
Because on my website, on my LinkedIn bio, Even my Instagram bio, although I'm not familiar with that world very much, there's a subscription. And as part of the subscription to a newsletter, you get a free ebook, which is Getting Curious About You. So it's a self-discovery guide um, using IFS. So that's like a very beginner's guide.
Yeah.
Um, if anybody's either done it in a different way or new to this sort of thing, that might be a nice place to start.
I would encourage everybody to go and have a look at that because I'm sure it'll be super valuable. If you were going to share one message then, or one thing with other women that are watching about owning it and really, I guess, taking care of themselves and all around your IFS model, what would you share with like a lesson or just something that you think, okay, they need to know this? Put you on the spot there, didn't
Mm.
I?
You don't have to believe everything everybody inside tells you, because there will be conflicting voices that say not good enough, or that say actually we are good enough, shut up. And it's about, they all have validity and they all have reasons for sharing what they're sharing and trying to give you good outcomes, but you don't have to believe all of that. And I don't know if that makes sense.
It does, to me, it does, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I think it's very similar to when we share with other people that we want to do something, or this is what we've thought, or we have an idea, or whatever it is. And they're like, oh, you sure you want to do that? What if this happens? What if you get laughed at? What if blah, 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 blah? But it's just when you look at it through the lens of them trying to keep us safe,
Mm-hmm.
they don't want us to get laughed at. They don't want us to fall flat
Mm-hmm.
on their face.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that I just interpreted that is very, very similar in that those things that pipe up
Yeah.
really are just to keep us safe, aren't they?
Yes, yes. And we can remind them because they might think we're little, still
Yeah,
in primary school or teenager or whatever. And we can remind them, look, she's 60 now, because I'm 60 now. And look, she's got books that she's published. So she's done it once already. So it might not be that bad. So not in a, I'm being a bit jokey, but it's like
yeah,
parts of us may not hold in mind that we have resources and that
yeah.
I am more than just that part over there who messes up every so often, or that part who's forgotten to do something, or so yeah, it's and enjoy the multiplicity. That's the enjoy the multiplicity. And I've also got this other phrase I love: self-acceptance, a part at a time.
Oh,
They're
wow.
all welcome. And yes, if we can enjoy as much as we can, and if I'd said that to myself 15 years ago, I'd have said, "Oh, I'd have got a bit itchy. What are you talking about?" But yeah, I can say that with a bit more ease now.
Yeah, I love that. So for anybody that's watching that has really enjoyed this conversation, and I'm pretty sure they're going to have enjoyed it, even if they just enjoy it this much, in comparison to how much I've enjoyed it, they're going to get so much from it. But if they're looking and thinking, I want more of Emma, I want to soak Emma up, where can I go and find her? Where can I look at her books? Where can they come and find you?
Well, my website is emmaredfern.co.uk.
Yeah,
And LinkedIn, I like LinkedIn, so they can find me on there. Um,
just under Emma Redfern. Is that the you're on as Emma Redfern?
well, yes, Emma Redfern, psychotherapy professional, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Um, but I'm
Fantastic.
sure if they go search rather Emma E. Redfern or Emma Redfern, um, and yes, probably look out for the new book, subscribe, you'll get some behind the scenes and some info about the new book if you want to subscribe, people. So
What's the new book called?
it's called Internal Family Systems, Making a Start and Getting Curious.
Oh, right. So very relevant then to this
Yes.
conversation, probably.
And
Yeah.
it's not written just for professionals. It's written for anybody who's interested in knowing what's under their surface a bit more, or maybe understanding what might be under other people's surfaces.
Mm.
So
Love it.
yes, that's exciting.
Very exciting. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I could chat to you for longer than 20, 30 minutes. I've really enjoyed it. You've got such like a warm, fun, cheeky side. And I feel through, I felt really relaxed having the conversation and as if I'm chatting to a friend. So thank you
Oh,
for
you're most
making me
welcome.
feel that way. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it.
Well, that's what I was saying about being with people that bring out different sides of us.
Yeah,
You've helped bring out that side of me, so thank you.
you're welcome. We'll have to do it again, won't we? We'll have
Yeah.
to finish hour of it. Okay, for anybody that is watching, all of the links for Emma are in the show notes. You can go and find her, go and have a look at her socials, go and buy a book because I'm going to go and have a look at it. I'm sure it's going to be fabulous. I'm going to put myself on your, is it the wait list? Did you say it was a,
You can do it if you subscribe via my website
that's it.
or LinkedIn or Instagram. You'll get details of it.
Perfect. Okay, well, thanks for watching, everybody. I will see you on the next episode. But thanks again, Emma. It's been amazing to chat to you. Really loved it.
Pleasure.